My name is Paula Kearney, and the main medium I use for my artwork is oil paint and graphite. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I was in school. When I was in school in the 70s and 80s, you were a nurse or a secretary. And then suddenly in 6th year, we got a new art teacher, Murrah her name was, and she just totally took control and said, "You guys are good at this, and why don't you do something with it?" And we hadn't really heard of our college or doing anything with it, except for doing little pretty drawings, you know. I went to marketing design, and I went to the National College of Art and Design. I would have been influenced greatly by Paddy Graham from the marketing design. He taught us all about line. I kept that with me always. He taught us how to be passionate about our work. He would have been encouraging for us to be dark and moody, I suppose. It's not hard to be dark and moody in a landscape like Ireland. But to be honest, up to 2 years ago, all my work was figurative work. It was only when COVID hit that I started going for walks, and I had a lot of time on my hands. And so my journey, basically, your question was journey, would have been figurative work right from the late 80s. And then in the last 2 years, discovering where I lived, discovering the landscape around me, spending a lot of time in it, and I just thought, I have to paint this. So it's a journey in itself that this is all new. Hopefully in a few years it'll have progressed greatly, because it's very new to me. I never painted landscape before, so I'm really enjoying it, really enjoying the process. Artists that would definitely have inspired me would be artists like Giacometti, but Giacometti as in not so much his sculptures but his paintings and his drawings, his ferocious use of the line, scribbling to create his figure. A Dutch artist called Eddie Rowe, and his work, I saw it recently, and his work immediately I thought of Katie Colesworth's fighting with the line on the paper, but very, like Katie Colesworth would be very moody and talking about communicating to the viewer about what is happening and suffering, but the line is capturing all that because of the dark and the light. Your group of friends who you hang around with do help inspire you and help you, you know, because you can go through years of being down the dumps, it's not working for you, and your friends are very good at that, and they go up and down as well because they're all in the art world, and even those that aren't, or most of my friends are fairly arty, so we'd all be very encouraging of each other. So, and then of course we all go to the galleries, we all see the shows, I've travelled a lot, I've seen a lot of different artists, and also like I taught a lot over the years, and you learn a lot from the students. You really do learn a lot from the students, and I didn't expect that, but that is, and a lot of things when you're explaining something or some art piece to the students, you start to think, oh yeah, right, I didn't realise that, you know, and the students can be great for that. My advice to you starting off is that it is very hard, but hard as in it takes time. You're not going to be an artist instantly. It takes years to build up the work. Like, as I was saying earlier, this is only just a start. In a few years' time, they won't look like this. You know, you have to keep moving. It's evolving all the time. So when you start off, like I have so many students who'll come to me and say, what do I draw? I don't know what to draw. But you just have to begin and let it come all the time. But it does take time. But basically the Signal Labs gave me an opportunity to make it concrete, and I had to sit down and I had to say, well, what am I doing? How am I going to go about it? And what do I want out of this? And that's what it gave me. It gave me a fantastic opportunity. All the work for the show, I've done 20 pieces, 10 large pieces, 10 small pieces. All of them are really the work about a place called the Murrah in County Wicklow. It's a 15 kilometre stretch of sea and marshlands, salt lakes, and it's just beautiful there. It's the sense of the place, the mood of the place, the wet, soggy ground, the wilderness, the wildness rather. I'm very small. I feel tiny in this landscape. That's why I've probably enlarged things, because it's like I'm looking up. It's the isolation. It's beautiful. I love the isolation and the moody and the dark and the wet and the soggy. And to me, I just love that. I don't find it depressing. I find it like this heavy silence or presence that I find it very calming. A favourite piece of work in the exhibition would be, I have to say I keep changing my mind, because I love a piece and then a few weeks later I'll come back and go, oh my God, I have to fix that, I have to change that. So, and then at the moment I suppose this would be my favourite piece, but in a couple of weeks' time I might change my mind totally and feel another piece has captured more. And I mean, that's what you do. Each piece you do, you're hoping to move on and move on and move on. So when you look back, like the work I was doing 2 years ago, I wouldn't show at all, because it's all a learning process trying to get there. So at the moment this one, but next year might be binned. What I'd really love for the viewer looking at the work is to feel how I feel when I'm there. So I'm hoping that the work will say that, will give them the mood of the place, will give them, I know you can't paint sounds, but if you can think of the wind when you're looking at it, if you can think of the cold, I'll have achieved everything if I can get a viewer to feel that when they're looking at the work. The exhibition's running from the 25th of April till the 8th of May. So it'd be great if people could come and see what they think of it.